What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing my quarter-season NFL awards. We're through Week 4 now. I understand that there is still one game left to be played in Week 4. However, I don't think any player on either of the teams playing tonight is going to change my mind about my awards at the current moment. So we're hopping right into it. I know that there's 17 games, so 4 technically is in the quarter. We're doing my quarter-season NFL awards. Let's hop right into it. But before we get into all that, please be sure to do anything you can to help grow the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and click the link in my bio to go find me on all my other platforms: Twitter, Substack, Instagram, TikTok, Discord. Basically, any place you would want to find me, you will find in the link in my bio. Without further ado, let's get into my quarter-season NFL awards. Starting off with my Coach of the Year pick at the current moment, it is the man in Detroit, Dan Campbell. The Lions are 3-1, and while that was sort of expected from them this season, especially with the division they're in, you still have to give Campbell some props for how far he's taken this team. Usually, the best team's coach wins it, right? Now, I'm not saying the Lions are the best team in the NFL, and that's not always the case, though, right? I mean, we have seen Brian Daboll win the Coach of the Year award just last year. Giants were just a playoff team. They weren't the best team in the league by any stretch, but the Lions, I think, are going to be a Giants-level team from last year. Obviously not this year because the Giants stink this year. Last year's Giants-level team where they're going to make a serious run at a wild card spot. Obviously, they're going to win the division, most likely, with how bad the other teams look right now. They'll get a wild card spot, probably be the third or fourth wild card. I think they're going to go 10-7, 11-6. That's my prediction. Similar to the Giants last year, like I'm talking about. And I think that's going to earn Dan Campbell his first Coach of the Year award. Listen, he is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think culturally he sets a tone that really any team would be willing to play for, this guy, right? And they have Ben Johnson, and he is somebody who you can definitely credit for a lot of the Lions' offensive success. But Dan Campbell, defensively and just as a whole, is a very, very good coach, and he is at the current moment, the most deserving coach in my mind for this award. All right, continuing for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have Christian Gonzalez. There were some people on NFL Twitter and even in my own circle who believed that Christian Gonzalez was going to have a Sauce Gardner-type rookie season. And I was not going to go that far. However, apparently I should have, because he's having as good of a season as Sauce was last year. Obviously, he got hurt during the Cowboys game. We don't really know the severity of that yet, if I'm not mistaken. We might. I just don't know off the top of my head. But Christian Gonzalez is my pick for D-Roy currently. He's been fantastic. And really, there isn't much competition at the current moment for him. I know that there are a few guys who are okay, but Tyree Wilson has like one of the lowest pass rush win rates in all of the league. Will Anderson has been quiet but good. Jalen Carter is a guy who I could definitely see being picked for this award at the current moment. He's been fantastic, but he plays on a really good defensive line. Gonzalez is kind of the one man in the secondary. Obviously, Belichick always does a good job of having good corners and developing corners. So Gonzalez is in a perfect position, and he has guys who aren't like out of the league terrible next to him in the secondary, but he really is the number one guy there pretty clearly. And to do that as a rookie in a Belichick defense and also play as well as he has against some pretty good teams that they played so far this year, the Eagles, the Cowboys when he actually did play, the Chiefs, they have not played the Chiefs. I don't know why I said that, but you get my point, right? Christian Gonzalez is the number one guy. He did a good job against Tyreek Hill, which not a lot of cornerbacks, even like years into their career, can do a good job against Tyreek Hill, and he absolutely locked him up on a couple plays. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is still going to get his catches as a rookie cornerback, but Christian Gonzalez, if you're picking anybody else for D-Roy, I want to know your reasoning. I can argue Jalen Carter, but he's about the only one I can see even having a shot at it currently. My offensive rookie of the year, I really want to go with the fun answer of Puka Nacua out in Los Angeles. However, I am going to go with C.J. I was definitely a bit lower on Stroud than most people were. I had him as my QB3 in this class behind Young and Richardson, but at the current moment, he's playing like he's going to end up being the best out of this class. He is playing phenomenal. He's setting rookie records. He is absolutely balling right now. He had a fantastic game against a really good Steelers defense. He lit up the Jaguars, whose defense, I'll admit, is not fantastic, but he is playing very, very well. He's on a Justin Herbert rookie season type beat, and he started right at the beginning, so he could even surpass those numbers that Justin Herbert ended up having in his rookie season because he's been starting every single game. No interceptions thrown yet. He's just throwing for yards, throwing for touchdowns. I don't think there's any other option for Offensive Rookie of the Year outside of Puka Nacua, who I think could definitely win it. I think that his success is not as sustainable as CJ Stroud's is because Cooper Kupp's going to come back. He kind of fills that Cooper Kupp role. Cooper Kupp's going to fill his own role when he comes back, obviously. We'll see what happens with Puka once the number one target is back. With the guy who actually fills his role is back, but Stroud has been phenomenal. I think that he is the easy choice for Offensive Rookie of the Year right now. Could also certainly entertain the idea of Bijan Robinson winning this award, seeing as he's already a top 10 running back in the NFL, even being in only 4 weeks. I mean, the guy's incredible. You see him against the Jags, you see him against the Packers. He just has some incredible moves in the open field. He is one of the best running backs in football. He's a great receiver. Get him out of Atlanta already. Already get him out of Atlanta. He's got Desmond Ridder as his quarterback. I mean, that's enough said. All right, getting into the big ones. Depoy. Give me Myles Garrett at the current moment. Myles Garrett has been phenomenal this season. You saw in the first week against the Bengals where he quite literally shows the guard or the center, whoever he was going up against, what he's going to do, and then just executes it flawlessly, gets right by him, still beats him, even though the guy knew exactly what he was going to do, and because he showed him, still beats him, gets to Joe Burrow. He's been fantastic. He's got 5.5 sacks on the year, has had a monster game this past week, not this last week against the Ravens, which was a bad game for the Browns overall, but week after that in week 3, he was phenomenal. There's no other choice for Depoy, in my opinion. I know I've said that about pretty much every award. I just want my narratives to go Burr. But obviously, you got Max Crosby, you got Micah Parsons, you got those two guys who lead the league in pressures. Yeah. For Offensive Player of the Year, I almost picked this guy for MVP, but give me Christian McCaffrey. He scored 4 touchdowns against the Cardinals last night, which, listen, I know it's the Cardinals, but Jonathan Gannon's got that defense in like feisty competitive mode. So scoring 4 touchdowns against them isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. He's just phenomenal. He's a great receiver. He's going to run the league this year. I think the 49ers offense is going to run solely through him, and he's just doing a fantastic job of doing that. Offensive Player of the Year, I think there's this one, I know I've said about every award, but this one I legitimately don't think I can entertain an argument for anybody else. He is fantastic, and he's got probably the most touchdowns of any running back. I'm not entirely sure on that stat, but he's been phenomenal. He deserves the All Boy. Right now, give it to him. Don't even have to try for the rest of the season. Finally, the big one, the big kahuna. For my MVP, give me the man who is now my quarterback 2 in the league, Josh Allen. Allen torched the Dolphins yesterday. Him and Stephon Diggs went crazy. I know the Dolphins' secondary is missing Jalen Ramsey. The Dolphins aren't the best defense in the world, but they actually have been playing pretty good. And it's Vic Fangio. I mean, even if they weren't that good of a defense, they'd be playing up to a much higher level than they on paper should be playing to. And they have been in the first 3 weeks of the season, and Josh Allen comes in. They come into Buffalo, and he just rips them a new one. Absolutely destroys them. I mean, it was game. He's my quarterback 2 in the league. He's playing better than just about anybody at the quarterback position right now. I think this is the year that Josh Allen finally gets his MVP that he's been honestly working towards his entire career and getting this close to, but there's always somebody better than him. This year, I think, is the year that nobody's better than him.